Hey guys, you haven't heard from us in quite some time now. We are so happy that we are finally able to deliver and for you to receive the clutches, mount them on your bikes and to go ride with it. We already got the first feedback of the first customers and it's awesome. We're so fucking happy about that.
So today we are in Salt Lake City and visiting Rich Larsen. Rich is one of the top enduro riders which really understands how physics of bike riding work. He's one of the first customers who we are delivering now the clutch, and he's the first one to test it. We are gonna ride together today and I'm very excited how his feedback will be. I think we're gonna get some very interesting perspectives today. Which riding situations the clutch will be helpful, and on the other hand also for which type of rider the clutch will be good. So enjoy!
Alright guys, this is my hometown, my home practice grounds. This is in Tooele, Utah. I've got kind of a natural endurocross track back here. I'm testing the rear clutch on the Stark VARG. I never rode the Stark on this track. I did a little bit of endurocross before I broke my femur. I've been riding a lot of turn track on the Stark, but not endurocross specific. This is kind of I call it a natural endurocross track. It's basically boulders strung together. The truth is I haven't rode it on the Stark because I don't feel comfortable enough doing these big boulders with just throttle. This is the first time I just did probably 5 or 6 laps with the clutch. It was a little bit hard at first. It's extremely windy. We even just changed the sound setting so I could hear the bike a little more or hear the engagement of the clutch a little more. And I'm actually able to put down laps and I'm actually doing okay. It's really exciting. If I can do laps on this track, nobody does laps on this track. I'm the only person that rides this thing because it's pretty brutal. If I can do laps within 5 minutes of riding with the clutch, we're on the right track. And the biggest thing is just having the extra piece of control. Using all throttle, there's a lot of movement that's happening within body position, the angle of the bike, as well as the delivery of power. There's movement and timing that are happening together. Yeah. It's, in my opinion, significantly harder to make precise adjustments with your power delivery, especially on bigger obstacles with only a throttle. I haven't come out and rode this because I'm a little bit nervous of doing it with all throttle on the Stark. So the fact that I have that second form of control within the clutch gives me more confidence. If I overcook the delivery of power coming up the obstacle, I can pull it in and I can hold better traction over the top. Whereas with all throttle on the Stark, I have a broken scaphoid forever. It's non-union. So I have to wear this wrist brace. I don't have as much movement in my wrist as maybe the average rider does. I have been known to roll the throttle on a little bit too much within movement, and to have that little extra helper to keep me safe is huge. When you're using 2 forms of control, you have a higher ability to hold traction, and I can already tell that I'm doing a significantly better job holding traction over the top of the obstacles.
I mean, the track looks nice. Every obstacle is made for double blips. And maybe some splatters.
Maybe a splatter. I mean, I gotta get my nerves up to bust out a splatter, but especially on the Stark, there's so much power, right? So I'm still learning how much the clutch is going to affect that. I'm very scared to overcook. On this, I can do a splatter, I just hold it wide open. And then I'm using the clutch to kind of actuate that control. So if I'm holding this wide open, even at 40 horsepower or whatever,
and it would be like in 6th gear,
it's gonna feel like a lot of power. So splatters are a little scary. I might have to do some baby splatters first to work my way up. But we'll give it all a shot. Let's do it.
Let's go.
I feel like even like with this much throttle, the amount that I'm giving it here should give me more than it's giving. It's almost like I want it to maybe like more throttle sensitivity
You mean like you twist the throttle a little bit and the power is already quite there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that might help. Because I'm under on everything, I feel like. So this one?
Yeah.
All the way back up to 200. Yeah, maybe so. Like I'm putting out more.
Yeah.
So as we kind of accelerate out of this corner and then accelerate out of that corner, that's kind of what I was talking about with, I like where the flywheel is for the obstacles.
Yeah.
But as I'm accelerating and decelerating for the corner, it's almost like there's too much flywheel.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it runs a little bit too long into the corners and I have to brake harder later.
Oh yeah.
So it's almost like at speed, the flywheel needs to almost have less effect.
Yep.
On the obstacles. The flywheel is like, okay, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for finding that downspin. A couple times, like as I started to get more comfortable, it started to snow and it got slick, but I was actually finding the ability to keep the bike and keep the traction on the obstacle, which is super key. So it seems like at the pace where you hit the obstacles, it's like the flywheel effect at 15 feels really good to me.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I should turn up the throttle sensitivity a little bit. Like I want it to hit a little bit harder, and I think that would maybe help a little. But what I'm saying is, at the pace that I'm riding at slow speed, the flywheel effect feels correct. The way it's revving feels right. At higher speed where I'm accelerating and then I decelerate for the corner, I feel like it's decelerating a little bit too long.
You know, the version you're riding now is your personal one, and this is already the custom version from the release version.
Right.
I think there will be an official version about that in 1 month from now.
Cool.
And yeah, then we should adapt to these changes, and I think it will be ready then.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's get some hard enduro going.
Yeah, let's go over there.
And to be able to creep up like this with the front wheel in the air is a really good test what we want in hard enduro, right? We want to put all the traction to the rear tire and control that with the clutch using two forms of control, one with the throttle, then the other with the clutch to maintain a higher level of control, right? It's pretty good. We're right close. See, like listening to him, he's a little too high in the rev. Good. That's better. See, he's a little lower than that. That's better. So that was good. Ooh. The big thing was, I think at the bottom, you might have been a little too high with the output of throttle.
Yeah.
And that was what, so the higher you put, the more RPM you put into it, the more touchy that clutch becomes, right? That was really impressive. I almost want to jump on that real quick and see what I'm feeling. Because I was like, dang, I'm actually holding really good traction. You know what I mean? Like, I held a wheelie the whole time really, really nice. On the start, so I'm like making certain, can I do it on this? Let's see. Whoa. It's really close. Honestly, the start's way closer than I thought it would be. This is like, I mean, you know, this is my hard enduro bike, so I know it lugs really good and I ride a lot of hard enduro with it. I would like to try one more. Let me get another on this. See, that's such a great test. You see how I was a little lower in the power than you were.
Yeah.
I tried to keep it down in the bottom and I'm really close to stalling.
Yeah.
Like that's where you want to play, obviously, to get the best traction, but because it's steep and a little bit slick, it's challenging to get that bite. I want to try again on this and feel where the throttle output is, clutch output compared to my hard enduro bike. That was better.
Yeah, that looks good.
I got more, I would say I got more used to it on that and adjusted. What I did find was, I think that the amount of throttle that I'm putting in, like that much, very minimal, is enough on that bike to get the front tire up. Whereas this, I do have to roll it on harder. I would say it's like another 5 or 10% more throttle to get the front tire comfortably into there and hold it. But I think because I have to roll on that much more, that extra 5%, when I go to the outside of the friction zone, it breaks traction easier, right? So if you think about this one, I'm 5% less on the throttle. That 5% is making it so when I really have to save it, or when I need to initiate a little bit of movement, that extra 5% is giving me a higher ability to hold traction because it's 5% lower, therefore 5% less likely to break and spin. So I'm giving it a little more throttle, and that is making the friction zone a little bit more touchy. But to get the front tire up, I need that amount of throttle, and it seems to hold it there. I need that amount of throttle. I was maybe able to reduce a little bit than I did on the previous runs, but it's still, I'm inputting more here. I mean, obviously the clutch is the actuation of my movement control. I'm holding the throttle very steady the whole time. And this is where I'm finding the control within the front tire. When I need to initiate a little bit of movement, or when I need to find that place where it just comes up a little bit more to bring the front tire up, I'm going out to the end of the friction zone and it's putting a little bit too much power down here. So what do you think?
So two questions from my side. In what horsepower mode did you set your start?
That's a good question. So we're at, right now, I believe we're at 40, I think it's 43 and 30.
What do you think is this compared to the two-stroke?
Like how much power?
Yeah.
That's a good question. You know, I think these are claimed around like 50. You know, probably pretty close to, yeah. I did a dyno. Go to the IRC channel and do it. I did a dyno with a 21 gas, and I believe it was around 50 something. And I tried different things and TSP and all of that. This has a TSP ECU on it, so I would bet it's somewhere around 50. I guess I could chop it down. Let me try again, and I'll run it in. I'm gonna do it in 37.
Yeah, let's try it.
And then see if
another question
that helps with the delivery.
Yeah.
But I still have a suspicion that it's still going to be tough to get the front tire into the air, and that's why I have to give it more throttle to get the front tire up. Go ahead.
Yeah, my imagine was that, as you said, you have to give a little more throttle to get into the air. But if you have it into the air, maybe the horsepower and overall the newton meters of the start is probably giving you a hard time to get this soft and smooth traction on
100%.
the brake wheel.
Yeah, because I mean it's definitely putting out more newton meters. Yeah. For sure. So maybe that's just within horsepower setting. Let me do one more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was better. That one felt like tracked better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like it was actually wasn't so touchy on the outside of the clutch. So that makes sense. Less horsepower definitely makes a difference there. The other piece of this too is I haven't rode like too much hard enduro with the start. Yeah, I feel like 37 is really, really tractable in the bottom end of the power. And it made it so it wasn't so touchy.
I'm interested as well. Did you play with the bite point and the end point?
I haven't, no.
No, you have not?
That was something I wanted to ask you
Yeah.
guys about.
Right now you should have the stock bike point endpoint, but this can be adjusted in the app. And if we make the range of the movement a little higher.
So right now it's 5 to 60%.
Exactly. And if you move the endpoint, for example, to 75 or something,
Okay.
then this means
Yeah, what does this mean?
the point where the clutch is 100% engaged is further to the handlebars. So you have more range of motion.
Oh,
The
like
clutch
a wider engagement.
Exactly.
Bigger window
Yeah.
to find. Okay.
That might have the same result as turning the power down.
Well, yeah, I guess it's a wider range, so it would be changing the curve of what your output is dependent on the engagement of the clutch.
Exactly.
Just have more room to play.
Yeah, it's like putting a 9mm master cylinder
Exactly.
compared to a 10mm.
Yeah.
Right? 9mm moves less fluid, therefore wider gap.
And you
To
don't
make
have
the
to be
same
that
amount of movement.
precise
Okay.
with your finger.
So I'm going to leave it in 37 for now. And I'm going to do that again.
One more
One
time.
more time. And then we'll change to, a higher output.
You got some help behind you.
Yeah. He's doing so good. It's quite difficult to adapt from. Let's compare to a 9mm to a 10mm cylinder on the clutch on the combustion bike. You have to get used to that. And now it was like 2 seconds of adjustment in the app, and he's already.
Different. Yeah, feels good. It was definitely different. I felt like it right there initially, right at the beginning. I felt like I was getting more out of the bike. It was putting a little bit more output because my front tire was a little higher.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I know I'm putting in the same amount of throttle and the same amount of clutch that I was on the previous run, but now my front tire's sitting a little higher, and to drop the front, you would just go a little deeper, or it depends on the situation. But to drop my front, I brought the clutch in slightly to drop it, but then started to move up the hill and go deeper into the friction zone. And as I went deeper, it still tracked the same. I felt like I know I'm still putting more throttle than I would on a combustion bike. But there's something that I didn't say that I think really needs to be said, is I have a hard time doing that on the start without the clutch. Because it's very, I mean, I can do it, but it's very on off. And especially just like, it's like the little movements, like getting the switches and like I kind of change over here and I change over here, and I'm just making those really micro adjustments. Even on that previous one, if you guys saw, I made a mistake and I actually rolled back down backwards a little bit in a wheelie and then continued forward. Doing that on the Stark I find is very hard because it's like, whoa, 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 it's all throttle, it's all here.
Yeah.
Whereas now I'm getting the second form. So this is like way on track for the fact that I can do that and I look good and it looks decent and looks like I'm in control, right? And I that is, you know, again, that's hard enduro. Like that's what you're doing. I'm gonna try it in 43 now.
Yeah.
Now that we have a higher
range.
The thing is like that was always really hard for me with the Stark. I want all of my bikes to feel really similar, right? So it's like if I'm on a 4-stroke, I know how a 4-stroke feels. If I'm on a 2-stroke, I know how a 2-stroke feels. But they're very similar. There's nuances between 2-stroke and 4-stroke, but they are very similar in feel. And you know, you make the little adjustments here and there. But when you change to something without a clutch, especially for technical riding, if it's turn track, then it's like, all right, that's just turn track. But changing to something without a clutch is a huge adjustment. And that's why I would have a tough time laying down just jumping on a Stark and going and doing a moto on an endurocross track or a track with jumps. You know, I use the clutch off the face of sharp jumps. Every jump I'm using the clutch. So this is ingrained. I want to be able to get on the Stark and have the same ingrained intention. And because I'm ingrained with clutch control, this feels so much more natural. And you know, you guys are in the first iterations of this. You're in the beginning of evolution within the clutch, right? You're at the very start of, boom, the Cambrian explosion to throw you into, you know, an extreme change and a high ability to make adjustments. You know, so that's what's exciting to me. It's like we're at the beginning and I'm doing this. Like, what is it going to be in a month?
Yeah, that's so
what is it going to be in 2 months? What is it going to be in a year?
Yeah.
I mean, with the passion that you guys have and the intention that you guys have, let's try 43 horsepower. Same thing. Definitely more touchy on 43.
How was it for you? I mean,
Well,
the
okay.
The riding was crazy, and I think we talked a lot, and we have some points to improve on. What's your experience?
Well, that's the cool thing is I think that finding the points to improve and what we were doing when we were up there, really breaking down, and we found kind of an agreement on, oh, that's what it is. That's what we're looking for. That's that little missing piece. That makes me excited for you guys to do an update and jump back out and test it. Then we jump into the more, you know, hands-on hard enduro type riding, learning, you know, first holding the front wheel up on that hill. And to me, that's where we started to find like, okay, there's this little change here and there that I want to make and make those adjustments. It's right there. Like you were kind of given percentages. It's like on the endurocross track, it's like 99%. I can make the adjustment. I could just ride that. You know, maybe there's little changes that we could make here and there that would bring that up a little more, but it's like 99%. For me to change from either 2-stroke to 4-stroke to Stark is a little bigger than I want to make.
Yeah.
And that's just the stock start, all throttle. And kind of as I was saying, I didn't really have the confidence to come out on the start and do motos on this track. Could I? Yes. It just take me a bit to adapt. But with the clutch, it gave me the ability to just jump into it and gave me that extra bit of confidence to say, okay, I can actually ride this like I would any other combustion bike and get into it. Really underrated. The other side of it is you have this extra layer of control that if you use your clutch a lot, like myself, you want two forms. That second layer, throttle and clutch, to contain that output of power is something that, again, increases confidence to me. And increasing confidence is what it's all about. Right off the bat, you can buy this thing and put it on and you're gonna feel more confident. And that's what we want.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys coming to Utah again, all the way
Thank
from
you
Austria.
Mats, for having us.
I
It was
appreciate
great.
you guys.
Thank you.
Good work. I'm excited to do more.
Yeah, let's
make
do
it
it.
happen.
Let's make this fly.
Let's get out of here.